Hello everyone, welcome to this Python tutorial series. Today we're going to talk about variables in Python and how they work. Think of variables as containers that hold information, just like how a jar holds a jelly or a box holds its toys. Variables hold the data in Python. And just like how you can label your jar or boxes to know what's inside, you can also name your variables in Python. Let's say you have a jar of different colored candies. You can label the jar as candies and the different colors as red, green, and blue. Similarly, in Python, you can create a variable called candies and assign it different values such as red, green, and blue. One important thing to note is that variables in Python are case sensitive, so if you create a variable called candies with a lowercase c, it's not the same as creating a variable called candies with an uppercase c. Another useful feature of variables in Python is that you can change their values. Going back to our candy jar example, let's say you ate all the red candies and want to replace them with the yellow ones. You can simply remove the red candies and add the yellow ones to the jar. In Python, you can also change the value of variable by assigning it a new value. Variables in Python can hold different types of data such as string, numbers, and lists. You can think of this as having different types of containers for different things. For example, you wouldn't store your clothes in a toy box, just like how you wouldn't store numbers in a string variable. Now let's talk about rules of naming variables in Python. There are about 6 rules to name your variables in Python. The first rule is variables names must start with a letter or an underscore. Say y equal to 7 or underscore y equal to 6. And this will execute the code perfectly. The second rule is variable names cannot start with a number. Say 6 equal to 6. This will give a syntax error. A syntax error is simply an error that occurs in programming when the code you have written does not follow the rules of programming language you're using. The third rule is variables names can only contain letters, numbers, and underscores. Say y equal to x. This contains a space between two letters, so it will give you a syntax error, or any characters between two letters. The other rule is variables names should be descriptive and meaningful, because it makes the code more readable and understandable. When someone else reads your code, they should be able to understand what the variable represents without having to guess or look for additional information. For example, let's say we have a variable that stores the number of apples in the basket, and instead of naming it something like a is equals to 6, which does not provide any context, we should name it something like numbers underscore apples equal to 6, or apples underscore in underscore is equals to 6. This makes it clear what the variable represents and makes the code easier to understand. The other rule is variables names should not be reserved keywords. Reserved keywords are words such as if, else, elif. Those keywords are highlighted in your code editor so that you can distinguish them, or you can check them up on your Python shell. Write help in here and keywords. Those are keywords that are exclusively reserved for Python so that you cannot use them as your variable names. The other one is we can also assign the value of one variable to another variable. So x equal to 5, y equal to x. This will assign the value of x, which is 5, to y. Now that we have covered the basics of Python variables, let's put your knowledge to test with a couple of fun quizzes. Swapping variables is a common programming task that can be useful in many different scenarios. For example, if you are working with a list of values and need to reorder them, swapping variables can help simplify your code. So let's say a is equal to 7 and b is equal to 9. What we want to do here is when we try to print out the value of a, it should print out the value of b, which is 9. To do this, we create temp, which is a temporary placeholder, and assign it to the value of a. So now the value of temp is 7 and a is now b. So this will give the value of b to a. So now the value of a will be 9 and b is equal to temp. And try to print the two values. As you can see, they are already swapped. The other method is swapping variables without using a third variable. The purpose of swapping variables without using a third variable is to save memory and increase efficiency. When you swap two variables using a third variable, you need to allocate memory for the third variable, which can be wasteful if you are working with a large amount of data. So let's say a is equal to 7 and b is equal to 8 and a is equal to a plus b. This will be equal to 15. And now we want to print b equal to a minus b. This will be equal to, because the current value of a is 15, a minus b will be equal to 7. And a is equal to, again, a minus b. And try to print the two values. You will see the two values are already swapped. The other method is a very simpler method when it's compared to the other two methods. Simply assign a is equal to something and b is equal to 9 and simply type like this: a comma b equal to b comma a. And also, guys, don't forget this method only works in Python. Force a and try to print the two values. They are swapped. And thank you guys, this is for this video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.